So this one's a little feature improvement, feature addition, whatever. And I knew I was going to need this, and I'm just finally getting to it. Basically, if you're the GM, you can see everything on the map. If you're a player, you can only see, what part of the map you can visually see from your location. And the problem is the GM doesn't know what the player can and can't see. In a lot of cases, the GM wants to, they want to know that because they want to know that, oh, the players can now see these creatures, or maybe there's a piece of furniture or something. They want to know when it comes into view so they can describe it to the player, that sort of thing. And what I did initially is I added these two buttons, the player view, which the player view then comes over and shows what the player can see. And then you can switch back to the GM view to see everything. The problem with the player view that I think a lot of people can guess is that when we were playtesting this, the GM wanted to just leave it in player view all the time. But then you can't, like if I want to move this guy, I don't know what walls are there in the way and that sort of thing. So I've already made the change. Is the GM view now has multiple colorings. So these color, this color palette here is the unaltered color palette. This greenish, bluish tinted area, I think it's cyan I'm trying to use to tint the background, is what the player can actively see. Now, if I move the player, I'll just move them down here. You can see from the player's view, stuff that the player knows about but can no longer see is grayed out. So like the player can't see this anymore, but he knows what, here. So it's still available, but it's grayed out. And then things that the player can see come into normal color. The GM now, though, has a slightly tinted cyan for the stuff that the player knows about but can't see, but then this more brilliantly tinted cyan, I don't know how else to say it. I toyed around with a couple of different color combinations, and I'm not entirely happy with this one. This is the best I've come up with yet. The simple fact is from a developer standpoint, I can sit and tweak these colors all day long, and it's a very simple process to just try different colors. But getting the logic together that allowed this to function this way, that was the nice little thing. I still have the ability to switch to player view. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. I think the GM view now encompasses everything that the player view needed, and I could just clean up some code, and make some of the code simpler by removing that. But I think this gives the GM a lot more understanding of what's going on. For example, I know that the player can see partway up into this hall, which isn't immediately obvious without this coloring. I know that they can't see through here because the curtain obscures it. I know that they can no longer see back. That sort of thing. And from the perspective of running an adventure, that just gives the GM more information that they can use to tell the story.